I was born and raised in a desert town in Southern California known as Solace Springs, a place that never made the news until the disappearance of the Solace 12. The 12 high school students vanished during a field trip that spring, and in a town as small as Solace Springs, news like that didn't just spread, it consumed everything. Parents started escorting their kids to and from school. The sheriff's department imposed a strict curfew. Churches held prayer vigils. Search parties combed the town and the surrounding desert. But nothing, not a footprint, not a clue. The last known destination of the missing students was the Silver Crest Institute, located at 1313 Azure Ridge Road. A once prominent research facility, now reduced to nothing but rubble and sand. The first place the sheriff's department investigated was, of course, the institute itself. What they found made the case even more bizarre. Nothing. No sign that anyone had been there. No scattered belongings, no footprints, nothing at all, except for the school bus that had carried the Solace 12. The bus was parked in front of the ruins, untouched. The real horror, though, was inside. The driver was still in his seat, or what was left of him. The corpse was skeletal, dried and shriveled as if it had been rotting for decades. But that wasn't possible. The man had been alive just 3 days prior. The search of the area turned up no further evidence. Not a single speck of DNA. No tire tracks leading away. No sign of a struggle. The sheriff called in reinforcements from the state police, but the moment they stepped onto the site, several of them reported feeling a low, unnatural vibration in the air, like a humming noise that made them nauseous. That was when the case was shut down. The town demanded answers, but the sheriff's department refused to share further details. No press releases, no explanations, just silence. The investigation begins. That's when I got involved. My name is James Calloway, but most people just call me Calloway. I wasn't close to any of the missing kids, but I was obsessed with the paranormal and the unexplained. My best friend Elliot Franco was the same way. We were the type of kids who stayed up watching conspiracy theory videos, digging through internet forums about UFOs, and telling ghost stories in the back of the diner at 2 a.m. So when Joey Vargas, a former friend from childhood, approached me after school one day, I knew something was up. "Calloway," he said, catching up to me on the street, breathless. "We're going out there, to Silver Crest, tonight." "Why?" I asked. "My best friend was one of the 12, he said, "and the sheriff's not gonna do anything." "So we will." I didn't need much convincing. I grabbed my camera, my flashlight, and a baseball bat, just in case. We drove down the highway that night, the sun dipping below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of red and gold. Then we saw something we weren't expecting. Lights, far off in the mountains, pulsating like embers. They flickered, they shifted. "Jesus, what is that?" someone muttered. "Could be a radio tower," someone else suggested. I didn't think so. The golden lights flashed and blinked in impossible patterns. Some of the others saw yellow or orange. But I swear, to me, they looked like pure gold. That's when we heard the siren. Red and blue flashed behind us. Deputy Aaron Connors stepped out of his car and scolded us for breaking curfew. The others confronted him, demanding answers about what had really happened at Silver Crest. He hesitated. Then finally, he told us the truth. The tunnel beneath Silver Crest. According to Connors, they had found something buried beneath the ruins of the Silver Crest Institute, a hatch leading to an underground tunnel. The tunnel stretched for miles, winding toward the mountains. It was inside that tunnel that the strange vibrations were strongest. Something about the air inside made them feel sick, dizzy. When the chief looked inside, Connors said, he turned pale as a ghost. Then he called off the search. "But why?" Joey demanded. Connors hesitated again. "Because," he finally said, "this isn't the first time something like this has happened." Then he told us the real story of Solace Springs, the history of the lights. The lights in the mountains had been appearing since the 1950s. They became a local legend, attracting tourists. People stared at them for hours, claiming they felt an overwhelming sense of euphoria. But then, things got weird. In 1957, a family disappeared after their car broke down on the highway. They were found weeks later, alive, but they were different. They had become feral. Their skin was raw and sunburned, their hair wild and matted. They moved on all fours, growling instead of speaking. The only words they could utter were, "Lord Savior, lights, great and merciful." Years later, a group of hippies tried to reach enlightenment by staring at the lights. After 3 weeks, half of them disappeared. The others returned, ranting about a great voice that spoke to them, whispering unspeakable things. Those who vanished never returned. Then in the 1970s, a wealthy entrepreneur named Victor Kessler built the Silver Crest Institute. He said it was meant to evolve mankind. Nobody knew what that meant. For years, people came and went from the institute. Then one day, Kessler announced an experiment. He sent 10 volunteers into the mountains to spend the night inside the abandoned mine shaft. 4 backed out, 6 went in, only 1 returned. The survivor ran into town screaming about something chasing him, something inhuman. A search party went to the mine, but found nothing. That night, a fire broke out at Silver Crest. When the flames died, Kessler was gone. And now, 50 years later, the Solace 12 had vanished in the same place, the ritual and the awakening. The next morning, bodies started appearing in the desert. Each one lay in the center of a cryptic symbol carved into the sand. The messages? "In the name of wrath, I sacrifice this mortal who represents patience. In the name of pride, I sacrifice this mortal who represents humility." 5 bodies. Then on the 6th day, they came. 7 of the Solace. 12 alive, but changed. Their skin was pale blue, their eyes blood red. "We have sacrificed in his name," one of them declared, "and we will sacrifice again." We barely made it to the mines in time. The fight that followed was brutal. I barely survived. But just before the last of them could complete the ritual, we stopped them. A massive purple flash erupted from the sky. And then I woke up in a world where Solace Springs never existed. And I can feel it. I'm forgetting. And if I forget, what happens next?